as-Samu or es-Samu is a town in the Hebron Governorate of the West Bank, Palestinian territories, 12 kilometers south of the city of Hebron and 60 kilometers southwest of Jerusalem. Geography: the area is a hilly, rocky area cut by some wadis. The armistice demarcation line runs generally east to west approximately 5 kilometers south of es-Samu. The village of es-Samu is located on twin hills with the wadi varying from shallow to deep between them. According to the Palestinian Central Bureau of Statistics, the town had a population of 19,649 in 2007. History: the Jerusalem Talmud mentions es-Samu as well as an Amora active in the town during the 4th century by the name of Hasser of es-Samu. Eusebius' area describes es-Samu in the onomasticon as being a Jewish town in the Aroma, north of Anium, within the Eleutheropolis region. During Roman and Byzantine period, es-Samu was described as a large Jewish village. What was earlier identified to be part of a 12th century Crusaders' tower turned out to be a 4th century synagogue, which was turned into a mosque at the time of Saladin, according to tradition. Ottoman period. es-Samu, like the rest of Palestine, was incorporated into the Ottoman Empire in 1517, and in the census of 1596 the village appeared as being in the Nahiyah of Halil of the Liwa of Quds. It had a population of 16 households, all Muslim. They paid a fixed tax rate of 33.3% on agricultural products, including wheat, barley, vineyards and fruit trees, in addition to occasional revenues, goats and beehives, a total of 3,000 AKCE. In 1838, Edward Robinson identified the town of Samu with biblical es-Samu. He described es-Samu as a considerable village, full of flocks and herds all in fine order. He also found remains of walls built from very large stones. Some were more than 10 feet long. In 1863 the French explorer Victor Guérin visited the place. In 1883, the Palestine Exploration Fund's survey of Western Palestine described it as a village of moderate size, standing high. On the north is an open valley, and the modern buildings extend along a spur which runs out west from the watershed. The ground is rocky on the hills, but the valleys are arable land. There are remains of an ancient castle in the village, and other fragments. The church is said once to have existed here, and the ruins to the west show that the town was once much larger. To the south there are olives in the valley. To the north there are rock-cut tombs on the hillside. The water supply is from cisterns. The inhabitants number some 400 to 500 souls. British Mandate era. In the 1922 census of Palestine conducted by the British Mandate authorities, es-Samu had an entirely Muslim population of 1,600. In 1934, remains of the town's ancient synagogue were discovered and the site was later excavated in 1969 by Zeev Yiva. In 1945 the population of es-Samu was 2,520, all Arabs, who owned 138,872 dunams of land according to an official land and population survey. 30 dunams were plantations and irrigable land, 40,398 for cereals, while 165 dunams were built-up land. In the wake of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War and the 1949 armistice agreements, es-Samu came under Jordanian rule. In 1966, Israel launched a full-scale military operation against the town, which resulted in the deaths of 15 Jordanian soldiers and 3 Jordanian civilians. 54 other soldiers were wounded. The villages suffered 3 civilians killed and 96 wounded. According to David Dean Schulman, the villages were unconnected to the incident which triggered the reprisal. Much of the village was destroyed. The commander of the Israeli paratroop battalion, Colonel Yoav Shatim, was killed and 10 other Israeli soldiers were wounded. As a result of the Six-Day War in 1967, as-Samu came under Israeli occupation. The population in the 1967 census conducted by the Israeli authorities was 3,784. It was reported in 2005 that 10,000 dunams of land in the towns of as-Samu, Yatta and ad-Dahiria near Hebron were to be seized by the Israel Defense Forces for the construction of the separation wall. Palestinian sources have alleged that settler violence from the nearby Israeli settlements of Maron and Asal has prevented them from accessing the fields. Culture. A headdress or money hat from as-Samu is exhibited at the British Museum. The caption notes that the headdress was worn in the 19th century and early 20th century during the wedding ceremony, especially for the going out of the well ceremony when the bride appeared in public as a married woman for the first time. Generally, the headdress was considered to be one of the most important parts of the Palestinian costume. Bibliography.